All right, welcome back to 7th Generation Now. This is Coach B. I just got done doing a few rounds with my students here at 7th Generation Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm a little bit tired, a little bit sweaty, but I got another video for you. I think you're gonna like this one. So we're gonna talk about how my students stay committed and motivated to their training. One thing I always tell people is that staying motivated, staying consistent, staying dedicated to the Jiu-Jitsu lifestyle can be really difficult. And so my students are going to offer up some advice and discuss how they stay motivated and maybe why. I believe that Jiu-Jitsu is for everybody, but some people, when they come in here, they find out that Jiu-Jitsu, it's kind of hard. It's tough. It'll make you tough. It will show you whether or not you have grit. If you don't have grit, you'll definitely develop grit, but it's definitely very difficult to keep this lifestyle up. And in this video, again, my students are going to talk about it. So
I try not to be ego-driven, just like to train. I got submitted a couple times last night, and that's the way it is, because when that happens, I feel I get satisfaction out of helping my rolling partners. Not if they submit me, as long as they tell me that I made it hard for them to get the submission, I'm very happy about that.
Hi, my name's Kel Melton, and I'm a student here at 7th Generation. Yeah, I just got my purple belt, been a month or so now. 5.5 years in, I started the sport as a means to an end to get into MMA, and then I fell in love with it, and I have not fallen out of love, so I just love it so much I can't quit. Jiu-Jitsu shows you how strong you can be. I've noticed that it's shown me and guided me down paths I never thought I would get to travel before, in MMA specifically for the most part, but also just in the whole tournament scene that Jiu-Jitsu has shown me. It's just a very cool world that I love to be in. I'm sure there's more than a million reasons to say, but I would say some common ones are they let themselves fall into the excuse of, oh, I don't have the time. I've got to do this thing. I need to get in shape is another huge one I've heard a lot. I'll get in shape first, then I'll start doing Jiu-Jitsu. Well, that doesn't really happen for the most part. Don't quit. I can't stress enough. I talk to people, not even about Jiu-Jitsu stuff and just whatever they're trying to do. I was just telling them, don't quit. Even if you slow down, don't quit, because it will pick back up. Your interest will spike again. It'll hit, highs and lows, but as long as you keep going, you're gonna get somewhere. I've heard the phrase Jiu-Jitsu is for everyone, but everyone is not for Jiu-Jitsu. So it does take a certain mentality to be able to let yourself get pushed by your coaches and your teammates, because this is a sport that's not easy. You have to grind and put hours on the mat to get good.
I just want to go far and really do something with the sport, and seeing my potential really keeps me motivated. That's what makes me want to get up and train again every day. It's hard for everybody, you're not alone. It's, every black belt out there, had to take the same path that you're on, and I'm on that path, so you're not the only one. There's no reason, just keep going, don't quit. Well, I'd like to go to the, to the biggest tournaments and, just be as good as I can, be the best competitor I could be, and, fight the best. That's pretty much what I want to do with it, fight the best.
It's fun. It makes me feel confident and safe in my own body. It's intimidating. It's hard to work hard and want to continue to be humbled. You'll think you're doing great, and then you'll get swept and armbarred, and you'll just tap, and it doesn't matter. There's always somebody better than you. Just push through. It's a rough patch. There's peaks and valleys, and if you're that low that you want to quit, then you're in a valley and you're on your way to another peak.
All right, I'm Colette Stroh-Snyder. I've been training since January of this year, so about 6 months. I think after college and playing sports your whole life, you think that once you, graduate and you have kids and you get married, all of that just goes out the window. But Jiu-Jitsu kind of brought that back, and I love that aspect. It's definitely a family, or a cult maybe is a better way to describe it. But no, I love that about it. But I also love, the competition, the aggressiveness, but also bettering myself and doing things that I never thought I would be comfortable doing. I just really want to choke my husband out. No, I think it's, you know, what I've realized is it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, or large or fit, you know, it's for everyone, and everybody has a different style, even though we're learning the same thing. And so I might be smaller, but it doesn't mean I'm at a disadvantage per se. And I want to get to the point where no matter who I go up against, I feel comfortable in any situation. And I think that's what keeps bringing me back. But also just my competitive nature, I guess. I just want to get better and be the best I can be at anything I do. And I think you have to take the time to do that self-care and take care of your body. And in our fast-paced society, we don't do that, or we don't know how to do that. But there's also, I think, things get in the way. And I mean, it's kind of a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time, because it shows who is really motivated to keep going and to who's going to push through the adversity. But I just think it's maybe a lack of understanding how to balance and take care of yourself and take time for you. You know, no matter what, like, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you got to take care of yourself first. Yeah, I would just help them think of the reasons, like, why they started in the first place. You know, the mental clarity you get, like, everything seems to disappear after a good class, no matter how crazy work is or how busy you get. You go onto the mat and everything else fades away. You know, remember those things. Remember the reasons that brought you in. Remember the relationships you created, and, you know, pair up with them, or say, hey, we've got morning classes that are only an hour and 15 minutes as opposed to 2 hours, you know, and just find out a routine that, you know, works for you, and then stick to it and have somebody that holds you accountable.
I've been on a weight loss journey for the last year, trying to lose weight. I lost over 105 pounds total. I was tired of just doing the gym thing. So with a wrestling background and coaching background, I wanted to find something where I can get my competitive juices going. And I found this through a friend, Lee, and it's become an addiction. It's really helped me lose the extra weight that I needed and just stay fit and stay healthy. And then it's turned into being more competitive and finding new ways, reasons for doing it. It just teaches you perseverance and it helps me with being, like, finding my most healthy, like, emotional, spiritual, and just now health side of myself. And so it helps me be the best version of myself, to where I can push through anything. And you'll find yourself in tough positions in jiu-jitsu, either in the room or in competitions, and it teaches you to stay calm and persevere and work through it. And so it helps me with that same healthy mindset to do that with other things in life. It takes consistency, takes time, takes effort and commitment to continue with this. But overall, it's a lot of fun if you keep with it.
Well, originally I started doing stand-up martial arts, kung fu, for a few years. I kind of thought that my ground game would be kind of weak. And not that I want to get in a fight or anything, but I just thought I wanted to be skilled in the ground. And I came to just sign up with 7th Generation Jiu-Jitsu 5 years ago, coming up on 5 years, September of 2017. And I basically got started. It was a struggle for me at first, but I basically become hooked. It's become a great stress relief, and that's why I train. And once I start, I just can't stop.
Initially for me, it was just a form of exercise. I had known about jiu-jitsu just a tiny bit, but I didn't know too much about it. And someone I knew had told me to come check the gym out. I lagged on it for a little bit, followed on Instagram for like a month before I actually popped in. But it quickly became my exercise, and then I started building off of that, and just the learning process and the fun that I had. It didn't feel like a workout anymore. It felt like I was just learning something and challenging myself. And of course the camaraderie, like with Spence here. He was like one of my first rolling partners.
She's the one.
And then from there, it just became something I enjoy, part of my routine, and it's part of my life now. I mean, if I'm not at work, I'm at jiu-jitsu with baking. So.
For me, it's just literally, once I start something, I don't like to stop for silly reasons. If I stop, it's going to be because I'm injured and physically cannot do it. But it's done a lot of good for me. I think it's helped me a lot out in my work. A lot of the strategies and techniques that we learn here in class really carry over into my line of work, which is an attorney.
Well, I mean, part of it, of course, is the exercise aspect of it, but ever since the beginning, I realized this wasn't going to be like an easy process whatsoever, and it still isn't. I'm constantly learning. I really I enjoy the challenge. It was a mental challenge for sure, and there was so many times where I had my downs where I'm like, I'm never gonna get this, but I have these little moments or epiphanies. I call them epiphany moments or whatever. But yeah, I still enjoy it. It's constant learning. There's always new things, and yeah, like you said, I wouldn't stop unless I'm like injured or something like that, or I get sick. So it's just fun.
And a little bit of a follow up. Jiu-Jitsu is like the only thing where, at least for me, where you can learn something, feel pretty good one day, and then the next day it's like a brand new lesson. It just totally starts the process over, which I think is good because it's very mind stimulating. I just think that there's a lot of people that want instant gratification. In other words, they sign up, they watch stuff on TV or whatever, and they think that they could be like a super Roger Gracie or whoever with like maybe a couple months of training, and it's not very hard. I think what they really need to know is that it's a really big commitment. I mean, you know, you come in here, you're rolling with people, it could be 108, you're sweaty in a gi, and it takes a lot of commitment to do that. A lot of people, they may just want to, you know, stay home and, you know, oh, I had a long day at work, so I don't want to do anything. I'm gonna just go home and, you know, go to the bar and have a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
And
it is a challenge because it's hard to get the grasp of things. It takes a long time to do that, and some people don't get to that point where they can accept that, you know, that it's hard. It really is an eye-opener, and it takes a lot of commitment and dedication to keep coming, even when you don't think you're going at all. Like, I remember my first day I came in, the next day I was like, I don't know if I want to go, but I still came in anyway, and I kept.
I say the camaraderie that I've developed with my with you, Coach Bernard, and as well as everybody here in this gym, it's just everybody has a different background, but yet, you know, you got different personalities, but yet we all have the same goal of just trying to get the best we can out of Jiu-Jitsu and to get the best we can at Jiu-Jitsu.
Was like before I joined the gym, like I said, it took me like a month to get in here because I was very socially, I don't want to say awkward, but I was not very like, I was scared, and it just opened up so many doors just to meeting different people, and it's just continuing that challenge until if I break a bone, then I'll have to stop. But
Hope not.
No, it's just continuing the challenge because it's a constant growth. The mental challenges and overcoming those. Like, I have so many days where I feel like I'm not very good, but I still keep coming anyways and keep pushing through even when I want to give up and just be like, I feel like I'm not getting better. So it's that constant, like, kind of like peaks and valleys type of thing, and just pushing through that every time. And I've had so many of those where I'm like, I'm not good, but it's just pushing through it anyways, because I mean, what is that going to help? Just to keep telling myself that.
Well stated,
yeah. So that's for me, that's one of my challenges. That's what makes it difficult, but it's that perseverance to keep coming and training and slowly getting better.
All right, so that concludes part 1 to what every white belt should know. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this video, but before we go, I just want you to make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. If you like the video, you can also share it. Until next time, 7th Generation now, peace. Thank you.